anytime. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Are you an HVAC service tech with 5 years or more of experience? Ready to take your career to the next level? Steamfitters Local 601 offers customized training programs designed to help you advance, earn higher pay, and enjoy better benefits. With a clear path to success, you'll get the skills you need for a brighter future. Don't wait. Contact Steamfitters Local 601 today and start your journey toward a rewarding career with more opportunities. Visit steam601.org to learn more. Steamfitters Local 601, keepers of the craft, powering Wisconsin.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
The chips that you like are not on sale this week, so we're gonna have to skip those. Sorry, bud.
Aww. Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint. I'm Phil. At Woodmans, you don't need a flyer to find hot deals.
With our everyday low prices and huge selection, you can find anything you're looking for.
And still save big time on your whole grocery bill.
So I can get the groceries I want and save money? Looks like your chips are back on the list.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Guys?
It's Woodmans.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
They just keep on doing it. They keep on winning. They don't know any better. The best 60-game stretch in franchise history. Thanks to a 7-2 victory tonight, the Brewers are 44-16 over their last 60 games. Just to give you a picture, when the Brewers woke up 60 games ago, they were 3 games under 500, having lost back-to-back of the most frustrating losses you'll have against the Pittsburgh Pirates on May 24th. Then they woke up on May 25th and found themselves trailing against these Pirates once again. It was 5-3 Pirates after they had scored 5 unanswered after the Brewers scored 3 in the first. Then a big 3-run 8th inning for the Crew, highlighted by doubles from Caleb Durbin and Bryce Terang. And that 8th inning in Pittsburgh sparked an 8-game winning streak. And now the best 60-game stretch in Brewers franchise history and their largest lead of the season. They're 25 games above 500 and 4 games up on the Chicago Cubs, who lost tonight to the Cincinnati Reds 5-1. Holy cow. Vibes are immaculate, man. This is crazy. I keep waiting to wake up. I keep waiting for somebody to pull the rug out from underneath, but they just keep playing quality baseball. And it's not rocket science. It's not anything top secret. There's no secret sauce. It's just the power of friendship, right? Well, the Brewers get the win. It's 7 runs, but it's not quite how you'd expect to score them. Let's talk about it on the highlight recap.
Ready for this? Out of here! This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Alrighty, a lefty going today for the Braves against Freddie Peralta. That would be Joey Wentz. Now, Wentz has already pitched twice against the Brewers this year, once with the Pirates, once with the Twins, and now he's on with the Braves. In the first inning, though, Freddie Peralta almost had some trouble with a couple of squibbers. An infield hit by Profar led off the game. Olsen struck out. Infield hit for Baldwin. Another strikeout to Sean Murphy, and then Freddie would hunker down.
2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, went up there with that fastball again. And 3 ortho ASAP strikeouts for Freddie Peralta in the bottom of the first. He works around a couple of swinging bunts that resulted in hits for the Braves.
He had 7 swings and misses in that first inning, but it wouldn't quite go the same the rest of the game. We'll explain later. But the Brewers offense late to the party a little bit, but then we picked things up in the third. It all started with a leadoff single by Blake Perkins. He would steal second base during Joey Ortiz's at-bat, and a chopper to third. That was a big moment because Perkins had a great read, got to third. Ortiz had no chance to throw him out, so they had men on the corners and one out for the top of the order against Wentz. A 4-pitch walk to Caleb Durbin, but loads the bases for Contreras, and he nearly gave them a gift. He flies out to right. Looks like they were going to get out of the frame. In fact, Yelly fell behind 0-2, and ultimately it was just a little bit of swinging bunt good luck to get the first run on the board.
Wentz ready and deals, and it's chopped very softly towards second base. Tough play for Albies on the run. Tried a glove hand flip to first, but not nearly in time as it kind of fluttered out of his glove like it was a balloon. Safe at first is Yelich, and he gets a run home to make it 1-0 Brewers. A slow chop infield hit. Once it got past the pitcher, the Braves had no chance.
And then Andrew Vaughn was behind 0-2 and then turned in the at-bat of the season. From 0-2 to 3-2. And on the 12th pitch of the battle.
Wentz with a new ball, new sign. 3-2 again. Line drive, base hit, pull to the left field, 1 run home. Rounding third is Yelich. The throw to the plate bounces twice. It's not in time. My goodness, what an at-bat by Vaughn. And on the 12th pitch he saw, he lines a 2-run, 2-out single. How about 4 across after 2 were out in the inning? It's 4-0 Crew.
How about it? This team just does not go to bed when there's 2 outs. They added a run during that at-bat on a wild pitch, thanks to Joey Ortiz scoring. Now, Freddie would battle command the entire game, and to his credit, there was rain falling. There was something a little off about him, but he then has some long pitch counts, 26 in the third, 27th with a homer in the fourth, and in the fifth, his pitch count soaring above 100, and with a man aboard, he ultimately would strike out Sean Murphy. The Brewers would respond in the 6th inning by rewarding their starter with a little bit more insurance. A misplay from Profar and left led to a triple for Isaac Collins, and Bryce Terang, one of the best with runners in scoring position.
Pitch brought home, and this is lined into center. It's down for a base hit for Terang. An RBI single for Bryce Terang, and the Brewers grow that lead to 5-1. And there's the Brewers taking advantage of any little mistake you make.
Any little chance, they do it. But then in the bottom of the 6th, stressful inning for Nick Mears. He allowed a double to Eli White that Isaac Collins would tell you he should have caught. An infield hit by Nacho Alvarez. A walk to pinch hitter Marcelo Zuna brought the tying run to the plate, and Jurickson Profar.
3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Oh, Nick Mears loads the bases with 2 outs, goes 3-0 on Profar, and comes back and strikes him out with a slider down and in. A huge ortho ASAP strikeout for Nick Mears.
Whew, exhale. Got out of it. No big deal. And once again, the Brewers offense would respond. Every good rally starts with a leadoff walk, of course, and obviously it comes with 2 outs when the Brewers get the runs across. 2-out walks to Christian Yelich and Andrew Vaughn set the stage for the Rookie of the Month, trying to be Rookie of the Year.
2-2 again. Line drive back up the middle and straight through into center field. Another base hit for Collins. In from third comes Ortiz. Right behind him, Yelich. Harris will not make a throw to the plate, and it's another Brewers inning. Patience, patience, patience. And then it leads to a 2-run single by Collins. It's 7-1.
And that would be pretty much the final. 1 run would score late. No big deal. Just finish up all 27 outs.
Anderson's 1-1 pitch is a chopper up the third baseline. Anderson will field it bare hands, throws to first in time. Oh, what a play by Grant Anderson to end this game. You won't see a pitcher make a much better play than Anderson just did, scrambling off the mound, barehanding it and throwing to first to retire White and to finish this game off for the Crew. 7-2 your final. The Brewers now 25 games above 500. It is the quickest they've ever gotten to that mark in any season.
Fun times in Milwaukee. What a win. It's another series win. A perfect 5-0 on the road trip. Trying to make it a full-on sweep tomorrow. We'll break it down with Craig Kashan after this. The phone number is 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Real Estate Services, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Tony Wendorf and Associates. Trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Cotroneo with a 2-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Hey, Ripon, big news! Tyson's is opening this fall. Shop trusted brand names for home, farm, auto, pet, tools, and home improvement all in one place. And count on personal customer first service every time you walk in. Check us out at Tysons.com.
You can't write off God or His Son, your Savior. You will either acknowledge Jesus as Savior now or Jesus as your judge later on. Jesus cannot, will not be ignored. Jesus wants to save you, has taken your place to save you, has risen to save you, is reaching out to save you.
It's Archives August with Pastor Ken Klaus this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Winner, winner, winner. Brewers get another one. How about it? Just remarkable. They're 69-44. It's amazing. Just flat out amazing. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you all season long by Fifth Third Bank. The local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank always knows how to hit it out of the park. They're right here in Milwaukee, and for 15 years they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making. It's all going to help your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member, FDIC. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig Kashan, man, 25 games above 500. I mean, that's a number you talk about at the end of a season. I mean, that's remarkable to be here 113 games in, 100, whatever it is, and be sitting here thinking, all right, clear out my October. I know what the Brewers are going to be doing because, my goodness, they're 4 games up. They keep playing sustainable baseball. They got a little lucky today, sure, but there wasn't any rocket science behind today's game. Make every at-bat as hard as possible. Swing at strikes. Take balls. Hit the ball hard. Another win in which they don't hit a home run. They score 7 runs. I'm just playing the broken record like you said on postgame on TV tonight, Craig.
Yeah, the broken record sounds the best, doesn't it? When you can keep talking about this kind of stuff. It is really crazy. I mean, coming into this game, I think they were on pace to win 98 games if they go the way they have been going over the last 2 or 3 months here, which is crazy to think about because if they played even better than what they're playing here right now, this could be a 100-win team. I mean, that just doesn't compute to how we started this season, how many players they lost, and how wrangled up the pitching staff was early on. But one move after another move after another move that didn't seem overly significant at all has just grouped this team together to become some kind of a mob squad, man. It is just, I don't know. It is fun to watch just from the standpoint Dom, I'd always say this. I've been around long enough for fill in the blank. I mean, I go all the way back to the Bambi's Bombers days and all that kind of stuff. And, some of these seasons have been few and far between to be this enjoyable. But the way that this team is assembled and how much they believe in each other and what they're doing is certainly a first for me to witness. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the way that the Brewers are winning the games is what makes it so enjoyable because, again, none of this that the Brewers do with all the runs and all their offense, none of this feels impossible, right? It's not, all right, well, you're getting a .350 batting average and 60 homers out of Aaron Judge. You're not getting a 50-50 season out of Shohei Ohtani. And even Yelly, like in 18 and 19 when he was carrying the team on his back and he still had a supporting cast around him that was fantastic. Locane and Brawny and, Travis Shaw and Aggie. Like, there was still a supporting cast that made it feel like this could, all right, if Yelly doesn't got it today, somebody else was going to step up. And today, I mean, shoot, look at it. Durbin goes 0 for 4. Contreras goes 0 for 5. That's 1 and 2 in your order. A combined 0 for 9 with 3 strikeouts. No big deal. Like, absolutely no big deal. The rest of the team picked them up.
Yeah, and who else picked them up is this offense picked up, I think, the pitching staff tonight. If you think about, when you're playing really well and you're winning some games maybe you shouldn't be winning. I'm not saying they shouldn't have won this game, but sometimes you got to have a little luck along the way. And tonight they may have had a little bit of luck along the way from the standpoint of how many base runners were on base against, this Brewer defense and against this pitching staff for Atlanta. But a team struggling mightily. So can they deliver the big hit? They cannot. And so the Brewers, they scored their 7 runs. So they picked up those 8 walks that were issued by the pitching staff. An anomaly, really. It doesn't happen very often. But you also don't win many games when that usually happens either. So I just like the way they're picking each other up. And I think at the beginning of the year, Dom, we did enough of these post-game shows where it's like the pitching staff or the starters and the bullpen, everybody's pitching so well right now. Can't you score some runs? How are they losing these 2-1 games and these 3-0 games? Can't you score any runs? And now things have balanced out so nicely. It does become really enjoyable to watch. I mean, it's fun to watch this pitching staff go to work because for the most part, they're really efficient. It's fun to watch the defense go to work, and it's fun to watch these guys. I'm just going to use this phrase from here on out for the offense. They're the nickel and dime bunch, man. They don't need quarters. They don't need silver dollars. They don't need anything expensive. Just nickel them, dime them to death.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, again, any level of baseball can play the style of baseball the Brewers play, which makes it feel so organic. It makes it feel so much more prideful when it's just like, hey, here's my, imaginary conversation of a Little League coach and his 11U team. And it's like, watch the Brewers. Notice how they run the bases. Watch how they play defense. Watch how they fight off pitches. Andrew Vaughn was a 3rd overall pick. He's on his 2nd team. He had a down in the dumps early in the year with the White Sox. Now he's on a new team. He's working 12-pitch battles. He's working 8-pitch battles. He is staying alive to try to pass the bat to the next guy. I love the 12-pitch battle in the 3rd inning, but quite frankly, I thought his at-bat in the 7th inning, that walk, that 8-pitch walk after Yelly's walk, was even better than the 12-pitch at-bat because it set the stage for Isaac Collins to hit the 2-run single. So the way I'm seeing it right now for the Brewers and the way I think baseball is realizing now, it's like, oh, play fundamental baseball. Play the game like it was supposed to do. Fill your roster with guys that understand the value of a walk, understand the value of putting the ball in play, and some athletes that can maybe leg out an infield single, guys that can flag down fly balls in the outfield, and you've got yourself a heck of a formula. There's no secret sauce. This is how the Brewers win games.
Yeah, they're so unselfish. It's not even funny. I mean, how many other teams right now in baseball just have potentially too many superstars who just aren't willing to give up an at-bat to advance a runner, giving an at-bat to drive in a run from third when they think they could, hit a 3-run home run. And it's just little things like that you have to buy into, but you also have to have the right guys to do it. So obviously this team has been assembled in a way that, 9 makes 1 really. And everyone on the pitching staff, even the guys that have been shuttled up and down from AAA, even when they're pitching really well at this level, all those guys make 1 pitcher. So, I mean, this is about as cohesive as a unit as it gets for the brand of baseball that they're playing here right now. No one else is really playing this brand of baseball quite like the Brewers, because just look at the record and success. No one else has been able to pull it off like this.
Furthermore, one last note on the offense as well today for the Brewers. It wasn't the prettiest day on the pitching staff, and the Brewers went 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position, which is massive, obviously. Not all of those hits delivered runs as well, but the Brewers are now, since May 25th, the Brewers have 37 games in which they've scored 4 runs, right? That magic number, 4 runs. Their winning percentage, they are 34-3 in such games. 34-3. That is a .919 winning percentage, just to state the obvious there. 4 runs. That's all you're asking for. And they're doing it more often than not. Think about that 2021 team, right, where you were begging to score 4 runs because of how good that pitching staff was. Now you're doing it with frequency, with ease. They didn't even score, the 3-run homer was plenty yesterday, didn't get to 4 yesterday, no big deal. Today, they get to 4, only allow 2, no big deal again.
I love it, man. I love it. It is amazing, too, when you bring up a number like that, what's their record when they score 4 runs or more? The dominance of what's going on, their record over the last 60 games, you mentioned it off the top of the show here, a 60-game stretch. They have won 44 of those games. They have never had a more winning stretch of 60 games in their franchise. But we can go on and on because we have been mentioning things like that in the last couple of weeks. So it's really something, Dom. It's, I'm running out of ways to describe everything here right now, but you know what? I'm gladly willing to keep doing that at the rate they're going here right now. This is some incredibly fun and entertaining baseball.
Yeah, and to finish your thought, overall in the year, they're 56-10 now when they score at least 4 runs. Also, the best record in baseball. Let's talk a little bit about Freddie. Jekyll and Hyde. He still delivered 5. He still threw 107 pitches. And Freddie is his own harshest critic, but he knows he needs to be better than this. We'll explain all of that coming up on the other side of the break on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office, and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today, so I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win. Man, I'm at a loss for words. Get some text, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. With Craig Kashan, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical offers 5% off for veterans and seniors all year long. And make sure you mention this offer when you're scheduling your appointment. Visit cider.com today. That's SEIDER.com. Families helping families since 1912. The power of friendship, it's real, from Reggie in Milwaukee. A couple of other texts. Win tonight. This team continues to roll 44-16 the last 16. Incredible. Might be one of the best Brewers teams we've ever had. Let's get out the brooms tomorrow. That one from Nick. This one from Mark in California. For years, the Brewers have been praised for their pitching lab. They seem to have developed a hitting lab, and the National League better be on notice. The Brewers are starting to run away with the Central. Today, Freddie Peralta. The line doesn't tell you the whole story. 5 innings pitched for Freddie. 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 3 walks, a homer, and 7 strikeouts. 108 pitches, 63 strikes. And I think a lot of us watching this game sit here and have a very high standard for Freddie, and so does he. And there are times that, again, he's Jekyll and Hyde. He is both evil and good. He is both. He's just somewhere in the middle is an elite ace and a multi-time All-Star, and he is still, with his C-plus game like he had today, is able to grind through 5 innings because his nickname's Fastball Freddie for a reason, Craig. And when he doesn't have the fastball, he doesn't have fastball command specifically, that's when you get these long games. 108 pitches is not on the bingo card, but it's still a W, and it's career-high 13 wins for Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, I know, Dom. When you watch him pitch and when he's not on his A game, it makes you worry a little bit because, let's face it, I always think, what's the very first thing a pitcher needs to do to, correct anything in his mechanics? And then when you look at Freddie's mechanics, I mean, he's kind of a wild child when it comes to, his windup and his finish. And so I don't know if that's part of what is happening here lately for him. He's had kind of a tough 4-game stretch here right now, where the bottom line is he just hasn't been real efficient with his plus pitches here right now. So, but he's doing something that probably only a veteran pitcher can also do here right now. He's not giving up a ton of damage. So, I don't know if this is going to be Freddie Peralta the rest of the way, where it's only going to be 5 innings and maybe a run. I mean, they definitely need more than that out of him, and he can't be walking all these guys either and creating, all this traffic on the bases. It's just not who he is and not who he's designed to be here right now. And certainly he's more capable of delivering what we saw during that stretch when he became an All-Star earlier this year.
And to get ahead of ourselves for a second here, and when you think about a playoff rotation and when you think about what the playoffs have in store, if the Brewers give the ball to Freddie for game 1, right, I could see a scenario where, whether it's wild card round or DS, maybe they consider Brandon Woodruff, maybe they consider Freddie Peralta, maybe they consider Miz, whatever they decide. But a player told me once, and it's always stuck with me, we talk about the playoffs being a different intensity and a different sort of feeling, and that a walk is a rally. Well, that player countered me. No, a 2-0 count is a rally. I mean, that's how precise and how intense the playoffs are. And Freddie has postseason experience. And I hope that he's able to clean up these deep counts and these long battles and these draining at-bats, because 27 pitch innings in the playoffs generally don't end well, and they don't end well after that 27th inning. All the adrenaline flush and all the energy that you have to expend. So over this next month and a half for Freddie, that's priority one. Clean it up. It doesn't need to be 12 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched, but I think the Brewers would like to see 6 1/3, 6 2/3, maybe 5 hits and 3-4 runs. That's no big deal. But if he's giving them length, that's all the Brewers are really asking for.
Yeah, and not only that 27 pitch fourth inning, but the third inning he had 26 pitches, Dom. I mean, my goodness gracious, that's 53 pitches over 2 innings. But he only didn't give up any in that third and gave up just the one in that fourth inning. So I don't know. He's always going to be this part of who we're seeing lately for Freddie Peralta. And I hate being negative or down on this guy, but I guess I will just say this is part of who he is right now. And I think the point that you bring up, he can't be this, though, for this team to win in the playoffs, because it's not going to be the Braves. It's not going to be the Nationals. It's not going to be, the Reds or the Pirates or whatever. We all understand that. So the good news is he's still got probably 6 or 7 more starts to go, at least, before the end of the season. So there's still a lot of time here to get back to who Freddie was. And can he do it all in the next start? I don't know. But I will say this, tonight was a better start than he's had in the last 3. So maybe as grueling as this one was to watch at times, it's still, in my opinion, a step in the right direction.
Yeah, so the Brewers are going to have to make an adjustment with their rotation. His next start's going to be against the Pirates, either Monday or Tuesday against Pittsburgh because of the off day on Thursday. But if they want Freddie to pitch against the Cubs down at Wrigley, he's going to either need to skip that Red series or change up the schedule in some variety here, because as of now, let's say he goes on normal rest and he goes on Monday and then the following Sunday, that means he skips that entire Wrigley series, so the Brewers are going to have to make that decision. But the good news is they also expect to get Jacob Misiorowski off the injured list at the normal length of time, the first day he's eligible on the 15th. Another thing to note about this game with Freddie, and on a positive note, so from Freddie, the secondaries are still so important for him. And on a day that he didn't have the fastball, there were times the changeup looked unhittable. There were times the curveball was just mystifying to these hitters. And this is where I think Brewers fans know, yes, he's got it in him. There are times that it escapes him. We know that. But when you look at the metrics and you look a little bit under the hood here, I'm like, whoo, man, he has become a pitcher to actually have multiple weapons to use, not just the fastball.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had 7 strikeouts tonight, and on basically, I know you chart every one of his pitches, but I just chart on the strikeouts, because he had 3 of his 5 innings where he was able to, kill any kind of a rally by finishing up with his strikeout. So fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, another changeup, 2 more curves. So to me, I love the mix, and it was very, very noticeable too. He wasn't sticking with something, like trying to get something with his fastball, too many times. I think maybe he overused his fastball in the middle of counts, but I like his mix right now. I think he's doing a nice job, and I think his whole mechanics and his delivery is really lending to what he's trying to accomplish here right now.
Yeah, I agree. And even those middle-of-the-count fastballs, those were the big misses that set him from a 1-1 count to a 2-1 count, and it just changes everything for him when he's working from behind in the count as opposed to out in front. Let's get to the phone lines, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Dick from Port Washington, you're live on Brewers Extra Innings.
Yeah, hi. I don't mean to be a downer on this, but I'm looking. I just got done watching the TBS post-game show and talking about schedules and stuff, and we're going to make the playoffs. There's no doubt, but I'm just not convinced we're going to keep playing like this the entire game or for the rest of the season. You know, we got Cincinnati coming in, who's playing above their heads. Then we got Chicago, and then you got San Francisco, and then Toronto, and then Philadelphia, and then Cincinnati to finish it out, and San Diego in between. I think that there's still some concern. There's too much euphoria, and I'm concerned by that. And I think Murphy realizes this. I think it's something that he's going to have to deal with. What do you guys think?
For sure. I agree entirely, Dick. But I think, though, there's no such thing as too much euphoria because as somebody, you know, and Dick, I'm not judging you by your age, but I think you've seen some pretty bad Brewers teams over the years in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. Craig, I know you can attest to this, too. You got to enjoy it while it's happening, man, because if you don't enjoy it while it's happening, you never get the chance to go, man, how fun was that? But to your point, Dick, about the schedule, right? You can be fearful. Every team has tough opponents down the stretch, right? The Giants don't scare me as much. They've sold off here at the deadline. The Diamondbacks have sold off at the deadline. By the way, the Brewers are 3-0 against the Phillies this year. They still got 2 more series with the Pirates. They still got 2 more series with the Cardinals, even the Angels as well. All these things level out, Craig. Yes, as I've been saying it, there's going to be another iceberg, but man, it's just refreshing to know that this type of baseball is inside of them.
Yeah, for sure. And again, just the way they play it, they're going to win. They're still going to win a lot of games here. But bottom line is, reality is going to tell you this is why this is a full 6-month season that spans 162 games, because you're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. They're going to lose another series or two, probably, you know, along the way, if not more. They're going to go 5-5 in a 10-game span instead of 9-1. It's going to happen. Mizorowski is going to lose a game probably. Peralta might lose another game as well. Woody hasn't done anything wrong. He probably is going to, you know, lose a game before, you know, this is all over with. But all of that's okay. There's still a lot of baseball left to be played here, and they will have an opportunity to sharpen everything up. They will have an opportunity to play teams that potentially they could face in the playoffs. I mean, all this stuff you have to look at it in a very positive way. What we're witnessing right now, I mean, Dom and I just have told everybody who's listening here right now, there are a number of things that this team as a franchise have never done before during stretches of a season. And so if you go back to most of those teams were very successful, either made the playoffs or, like in 92, should have made the playoffs, but they didn't have all the teams that they did back then. So it's just things like that. Folks, enjoy this. It's not over. This team has suffered in the playoffs recently. They're going to be due, and this is a different brand of baseball than what we've seen right through last season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I understand that shoe still hasn't dropped, and that's how ultimately this team's going to be judged, what it does in October. I understand that. We will have that conversation when the days arrive. But right now, the team's putting together a heck of a season, and sit back and enjoy it while it happens, because seasons like this don't come around all the time. Look, you're talking to a kid that grew up an Oakland A's fan, okay? Seasons like this don't come around all the time. Enjoy them, enjoy them, enjoy them. Craig Kashan, I appreciate you. I enjoy your analysis as well. We'll hear more from you tomorrow.
All right, you got it, Tom. See you tomorrow.
All right, Craig Kashan on WTMJ. Got some texts, 855-616-1620, and some Beyond the Box score stuff as well. Back after this on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
It's the best 11 days of the summer. The Wisconsin State Fair is back.
All of the best food concoctions,
the entertainment that gets you moving,
and of course, WTMJ broadcasting live from the Wisconsin State Fair.
Come see your favorite WTMJ hosts and shows live from the Bank 5-9 studios just north
of the Expo Center.
Live from the Wisconsin State Fair, we are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station, WTMJ.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Think of your experienced quality electrician for remodels or smaller projects like replacing fixtures or fluorescent lights to LED, electric car charging port installs, and electric panel swap outs. Codes are about to change that require a more expensive breaker. Quality can help. And for a power outage, count on lightning fast emergency service.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Nobody likes it when their old water heater sings its last song. But if there's a positive side to it, say you upgrade now with a tankless water heater. That means instant hot water on demand. Those old water heaters aren't exactly efficient either, but you ride them as long as you can. And when they can't do the job anymore, call Quality. Whether it's drain cleaning, snaking, or taking care of a leaky pipe or faucet.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Let's go to our Player of the Game poll, shall we? It's brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive into summer in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit iamilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Over on my X feed, Twitter, whatever we're calling it these days, I don't care. Anyway, the Brewers, the Player of the Game's got a few write-ins today, and I kind of purposely baited this, but Isaac Collins is winning today's poll, 68% of the vote, but plenty of write-ins for Andrew Vaughn for that great 12-pitch at-bat that happened in the third inning that led to a bunch of run scoring. You know, when you look at Andrew Vaughn today, and this is kind of our beyond-the-box score moment as well, so Vaughn strikes out on a fastball in the second inning, 4 pitches. Base hit on a fastball in the third inning, 12 pitches. Ground out, 6-3, but a hard hit ball on 5 pitches. That was against the new pitcher, though. And then you look at, or rather, same pitcher, I should say, 3 at-bats that he saw against Wentz. And then an 8-pitch walk that led to 2 more runs scoring later in the frame. He saw 29 pitches today across 4 plate appearances. And furthermore, in those 29 pitches, he swung and missed at 3 of them. Now, let me add up total swings here. I mean, that might take me a second, but the point is, he's making contact, he's having good plate discipline, he's comfortable with 2 strikes, and if I could give any advice, I'm not a coach, I'm the furthest thing from it, but man, the number one thing I hear from these players and the number one thing I hear from the coaches at the highest level, and if you want to pass this down to the next generation of your softball player, your baseball player, whomever, get comfortable with 2 strikes. Because that's what the Brewers do so well. That's what makes them be so lethal as an offense, is that they understand what you're going to attack with. They understand what your best pitch is. They understand, you know, how pitch sequencing works and all that. Now, that's a 400-level course for your 13-year-old, but get comfortable with 2 strikes. It's not the end of the world when you have your back against the wall. That's what the Brewers are able to do. You know, when you look at like traditional numbers like batting average and on-base percentage, you might not be that impressed just by the raw number. But when you put it into this context, the Brewers are 14 points above league average when they have 2 strikes on them for their on-base percentage, okay? Meaning they're getting on base 14% higher, 14 points higher, I should say, not percent, 14 points higher on their on-base percentage with 2 strikes than league average. Okay, that may not sound like a lot, but that's 1 more walk, that's 1 more base hit, that's 1 more opportunity with a runner in scoring position. The Brewers had the 4th most runs batted in with 2 strikes on them this season, right? Just little things like that add up throughout the year. And then when you look at the split, relative to the rest of the league, they're consistently top 5 in whatever offensive category you want to put. It's not that the Brewers are a quote-unquote hard team to strike out. They strike out a fair amount. I mean, they strike out a little less than league average, which, in baseball, everybody strikes out these days. But to be a team that, all right, you got the 2 strikes, even if you strike out and you see 8 pitches, in the words of Pat Murphy, that's it's a quality AB. You've done something to help the team win. It's a very small thing. You've moved a few grains of sand on this storm of a beach, but you moved them. You did something, and you pass the bat, and you meet the game halfway. All the Murphisms that we've heard over the last couple of years. This text from Jenny from Vernon on this, talking about Murph, resonating about watching Pat Murphy. I don't get to watch many games. Tonight's was on TV. By the way, keep your local listings in mind. Fox 6 carrying us here on Good Karma Brands on select games on Fox 6 over the air. You don't need FanDuel Sports Network if you want to watch the game, but don't worry. We're always here on WTMJ for you. But in the words of Jenny, I loved his body language. Guys do something good. Doesn't clap him on the back. Just focuses on the field. He could get Manager of the Year again this year. That's certainly a possibility right now for Murph. And I look at what the rest of the National League's doing. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due with the Cincinnati Reds right now. I mean, I was kind of walking away from that last series against the Reds thinking, like, yeah, they're not doing so hot. I don't quite believe in those guys like maybe I should. The Brewers won 2 out of 3 against them back in early June, and then from that series on, that's when the Reds have really started to play a lot better, right? They were 30-33 on that day. Well, they're now 60-54. So that's, 30-21? That's pretty solid baseball and above average baseball, and they're now 6 games above 500 and suddenly chasing down the wild card race. Let's give you a quick layout of the standings and what's going on, who's close, where are the races. The American League's getting nuts. Just kind of lay of the land here with a little under 2 months to go. Where are the races? What are we monitoring down the stretch? On the other side of this break, on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Cotroneo with a 2-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
It's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers and paired perfectly with a day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win 7-2. Fun times indeed in the good land. Brewers extra innings, buying or selling. We're going to do that here with some standings here. It's brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin, and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. Let's just give you the lay of the land of what things look like right now up to the second in the standings. Right now, National League first. In the NL East, it is the Philadelphia Phillies. They are 65 and 48. The Mets have lost back-to-back games to the Guardians, whereas today the Phillies taking on, who are they playing? The Nationals? No, that's the A's. Philadelphia today, where are they on this standings? Yep, they shut out the Orioles 5-0 today. So they got another win today. The Mets already lost. It's 2.5 for the division there. By the way, Marlins, they've come back down to earth these last two games, having lost the last two to the Houston Astros. Central, you know the answer there. Brewers up 4 games on the Cubs. West, the Dodgers are in a dogfight. They're 65 and 48, same record as the Phils, 3 games up on the Padres. Now, the Dodgers did just get Max Muncy back. And the Padres, they just revamped their bullpen with Mason Miller and also added, of course, old friend Nestor Cortez. But right now, they're in a 3-3 game with the Diamondbacks, and every game's going to matter for them down the stretch. The good news for L.A. and San Diego is the fact that they get the Giants, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies in their division. You know, those teams are not exactly having visions of October right now. So I'm buying the fact that the Dodgers are going to come back from the dead. And for folks thinking, all right, cool, you went 6-0 against them, you've done your job. Like, I mean, look, they still have 7 more with Colorado, 7 more with Arizona, and 6 more with San Francisco. I mean, that's a ton of wins waiting there for rosters that have been decimated by the trade deadline. So this first seed race, which the Brewers are in right now, is going to come down to the wire given they have so many more games against non-competitive opponents. And I think that's the point that Dick was making earlier on the phone call. So buy stock in the fact that the Dodgers or the Padres are going to be playing great ball down the stretch, and they've got the quality of teams to do it. What we're selling is the New York Yankees over in the American League. So Toronto's still in first. They're 67 and 48 in the AL East. The Red Sox win again. They've won 7 in a row. They're 64 and 51 and only 3 games back of Toronto. But all of a sudden, you look at the American League wild card picture, and Boston went from on the outside looking in to hosting a playoff series in the blink of an eye. They're 3.5 games clear of a playoff spot right now. Right now, it's Boston as the 1 wild card, Seattle as the 2, but only clear by a half game. Over those New York Yankees, they've lost 5 in a row. They just got Aaron Judge back. Rowdy Tellez hit a go-ahead 2-run double off Devin Williams on a ball fielded by Trent Grisham. Whoa. All the former Brewers involved. 2-0 win for the Rangers over the Yankees. The Yankees continue to lose. The Rangers are only a half game back now in that 3rd wild card spot. Cleveland's not dead yet. Cleveland's a game and a half back, too. There is a realistic opportunity for the Yankees to miss the playoffs. They didn't add a lot. They've already optioned Jake Bird to AAA. I know they revamped their bullpen, but none of the bullpen has performed yet. They didn't add a lot offensively. Judge just came back. He's going to need a few days. Their starting pitching rotation is good, not great. I'd sell on the Yankees. It's a tough watch right now. Fundamental baseball is no regard for it. Completely different team than the Brewers saw, obviously, in those first 3 games. I mean, the dang Yankees made us talk about torpedo bats for 2 months straight. Now there's only one guy left using a torpedo bat on that team, and it's Anthony Volpe. I was just there last week. I would know. It's crazy to me. Anyway, Brewers are still in really good shape. 69 wins. They have a chance to be the first at 70 tomorrow. They have a tall task, though, with Spencer Strider on the mound. Brewers, though, man, it just feels good. Just feels good to be in first and to know that there's still plenty of baseball down the stretch. We're going to hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, on the other side of this break on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints? Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Elevate your escape during the summer of Audi at Audi North Shore and Audi Milwaukee, where you can save up to $15,000 on a new Audi or get low 2.99% financing for 72 months at Audi North Shore in Brown Deer and Audi Milwaukee, members of the International Autos Group, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. On select in-stock new units, savings include customer credit and dealer credit. Financing with approved credit, $15.19 per month per thousand finance. No down payment required.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win 7-2. Go for the sweep again tomorrow. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Surfside lemonade and vodka. Paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. I failed to mention 2 more standings checks there on the American League side. Detroit's up in the Central. They're running away with it. They're going to be the first one to clinch their division. They're 7 games up. Now, they've fallen back down to earth a little bit the last 3 weeks or so, but they're still the best team in that division by far. The Astros are up 3.5 on Seattle in the West, but now the Rangers have come alive again. They're 4.5 back right now, but again, Houston seems like the best team going in that, and they got Correa. They just got Pena back. They'll get Alvarez back. Paredes is out for the year, but they're in really good shape, are the Astros in the American League side. As of right now, again, with the Brewers being the 1 seed, if the playoffs started tomorrow, the 1 seed, the Brewers. I don't know the tiebreaker between Philly and L.A. Let's just go ahead and give it to L.A. So the Brewers and the Dodgers would be the 1 and the 2 seed. Philly would be hosting the first round, and they would be getting the last wild card team, which currently is the San Diego Padres. Then it would be Cubs as the number 1 wild card hosting the Mets. So again, the Brewers then would match up with that wild card matchup of Mets-Cubs, which would be kind of scary if we're being honest. But, we'll see the Mets coming up this weekend in Milwaukee. All right, manager, back talking about tonight's game and, talking a little bit honestly about what the crew needs to do moving forward.
Big inning. Is that about describe your team as much as anything?
We said that in, you guys weren't there, we said that in Washington, I think. Same thing, we do just chip away, we've had it. But, I wasn't, this is a game that easily, when the other team leaves 14 on base and only scores 2 runs, they certainly didn't get the big hit. And we know how capable that lineup can be. So I think we were fortunate. I'm not going to discredit our players, but we got to look at that as, we could have done a little bit more, but their kid pitched really well, and the left-hander was really good, and the left-hander they brought in was really good. So I thought they pitched really well, and we chipped away, and we're fortunate to take advantage of some walks, but that's who we are. And timely hitting, Yelly gets a big hit. Vaughn gets a big hit. Collins, what can you say, man? The kid's on fire. Joey Ortiz swing it really good. Terang had a big hit. So, yeah, just we pecked away and got it done, but they left a lot of guys on base. It's kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. Freddie made some big pitches at some big times. He really did. Credit to him.
Vaughn's first at-bat went 12 pitches. That was the longest at-bat you guys have had this season.
Second at-bat. His first at-bat he struck out.
Oh, yeah, second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, just, for him to compete that way
Yeah.
and deliver in that spot.
It was unbelievable. It's the note I wrote. Vaughn, 12 pitch, that's special. And to come up big like that in a 2-out situation.
Sorry to cut you off if I was.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I probably know what you're going to say, but 44 and 16 in your last 60, 25 games over 500. There's all these numbers that we can throw out about how good you guys have played over this stretch. When you take a step back and you look at those numbers or you hear those, understanding or looking at the next game, I mean, does any of that mean anything to you?
I mean, of course it does. I mean, of course it does. But you got to look at, you really have to be disciplined right now. More than ever before, we got to be disciplined. It's how we play and the mindset we're in when we play. Because circumstances say ball could have bounced the other way, and we're not, those numbers aren't there. You have to just be consistent in how you prepare and be attached to your process, not your results. Now, from a team standpoint, the fact that we're putting it all together, I know the guys feel good about themselves, and they should. And I want them to. And I'm not putting them down in any way. I love this team. I love who they are. But you have to play the game a certain way, and you can't assume that everything's going to go our way going forward. And you're going to have some bumps in the road. But you have 49 games in the regular season left to play. And if we take care of business there, then we'll have another season, But this team is full of the right people, and that doesn't necessarily mean you win baseball games. But if you put it together and you take advantage of your strengths and you stay disciplined and you stay emotionally attached to the process, you'll keep playing hard every game, and I've seen that out of them.
Man, I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. Murph is just, he really does have a way with words in that he lives it, he has it tattooed on his arm. No retreat, no surrender. And he lives that, he means that, and he tries to instill that in every single player, athlete, human that he touches in his life. No retreat, no surrender, uncommon mindset, all the things that are Murphisms that we chuckle about. He lives it. He means it. And timing's everything, but man, the timing of him being the manager of the Brewers when the rules change, when he gets a young athletic roster, a bunch of kids that don't know any better, and a couple veterans that want to taste success that they've never tasted before. This team's got a really interesting blend. And another Murphism is, how's the soup going to come out this year? What are this year's ingredients? And this one's cooking up a winner. Brewers get the win today, 7-2. They've won 5 in a row, all on this road trip. Let's talk a little bit about a potential reinforcement coming back and what that could mean for the Brewers and their pitching staff on the other side of the break on 620 WTMJ.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing, too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45. It's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
All right, final segment of the program. And just to reiterate on what Murph was talking about there, just you got to stay disciplined as the Brewers win today 7-2. Yes, you have the best record in baseball. Yes, the vibes are good and everything. All that is fine and dandy. You know, since that peak, that 6.5 game lead on the Brewers back on June 17th, but then the Brewers won the game after that. You know, this is how quick it can change in the blink of an eye. That since that win on June 17th for the Cubs against the Brewers, then the Brewers won the next game after that rain out, remember? Since then, they're a 500 team. They are 20-20 when you include tonight. It can go in the blink of an eye. I remember talking to some friends of mine during that first hot streak for the Brewers when they went, something like 14-3 over that stretch. And, I was joking with a friend, like, you know how many games that the Brewers have gained on the Cubs during that stretch? And they were like, how many? They lost a half game. Like, that's how it was going earlier in the year. But now, all of a sudden, you've tied up your best stretch of baseball with the Cubs' worst. Now, they can snap back into gear ASAP, and maybe it's against the Brewers in a couple of weeks, but that is going to be the series of the year because whoever wins the series gets the tiebreaker, and who knows what the standings are going to look like by that point because the Brewers, once they finish with these Braves, they come home for the Mets, and I know the Mets have been kind of in the mud right now, but they're still a quality team. Then you get the Pirates, so another opportunity trying to beat up on a team that you're better than, and then you get the Red Hot Reds and the Red Hot Cubs back-to-back. Or not Red Hot anymore, but you get the Reds and the Cubs back-to-back right after that, and you're going to find out what you're made of real fast. Real quick update from the minor leagues. If you're still listening now, you're a diehard. The minor league update is a rehab assignment from Shelby Miller. Now, this was a trade that kind of went under the radar for a lot of folks in the national media, but for folks who've been watching the Brewers all season long, you understand how much this is needed to give just one more arm to let the bullpen chill out for a second. Shelby Miller, fastball, splitter, slider arsenal. He's had a really good year with the Diamondbacks despite having a flexor strain. He's been rehabbing it. He's been progressing to live ABs. Well, tonight he pitched in AAA Nashville. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts, 17 pitches, 10 were strikes. He topped out at 97, sat 95, 96. He looked pretty darn good. The Brewers weren't shy about the fact that they're expecting this to be a short rehab assignment for Shelby Miller. Looking forward to meeting him hopefully next week here in Milwaukee, if it's that quick. Other health updates we got today is Sal Frelick was available off the bench in today's game. He's responding well to treatment. Perhaps we see him tomorrow against Spencer Strider. Otherwise, you get the off day on Thursday to really make sure he's healthy heading into that Mets series. Furthermore, the update on Jackson Chourio, the aggressive timeline is 2 weeks. The conservative timeline is 4 weeks. So that puts you right around Labor Day for Jackson Chourio on the conservative timeline. And again, this is kind of the best case scenario. I know folks are thinking, let's make sure he spends the minimum on the IL, get him back. Like, well, hamstrings can linger, and the phrasing from the medical staff of the Brewers was that there was concern about the location of the strain in his hamstring, not so much the severity of it. I'll let the medical professionals talk about that and break that down, but the point being, hey, they're doing okay. Yes, they would love to have him. Everybody wants to have him, but they also wanted to have him as close to 100% as possible in October. Nobody's 100% in October, but if you can get him in a good spot ready to go by whatever that first series is, whether it's the wild card or the DS. That is priority number one for the Brewers. Tomorrow, Jose Quintana will get the ball. It's a night game, though, even though it's getaway day. 6:15 once again here on WTMJ. Up against Spencer Strider. He's been good and bad, but he has been coming back from injury. He's still on a much better streak as of late. He's 5-8, a 3.71 ERA. He has not allowed more than 4 earned runs in over 2 months. June 3rd was the last time he did so. So Strider's still really good. He still strikes out a lot of guys, and he still has a great mustache. We will talk to you after tomorrow's game as well. Hopefully it's a perfect 6-0 road trip. Our producer has been Matt Yazel. Our thanks to him. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Talk to you tomorrow night. Until then, keep on swinging.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC